Okay, cool. So last week, not last week, this week, that was on Monday, our session, we had this folder created, this project that we created. Let me go to GitLab. So we created a project, as I explained last week. Folders are like repos are like folders that we normally create, like our Google Drive. And we also saw how we upload files to our Google Drive. We learned something about how we are uploading files to our Google Drive. It's the same also scenario that we also take here as well to upload data, or let's say files, to our repos. So last week we learned about using the git command to upload our files to our repository. So when look at this repository, last week last Monday we learned about uploading files, and these are some of the files that we uploaded. So we have like about 7 files over here, or 6 of them that we uploaded. So we had this code.txt. We actually typed in some code over here, some gibberish code over here, and we also learned how to create a branch. So I'll go over that quickly. Let me open a terminal on my folder. Okay, cool. So over here, so we learned about a git status, and that one gives overview of everything. Let me increase my, okay, cool. So when I do git status, it gives me the branch we are working on, and as well as it gives us the overview of the whole thing, telling us that we are on branch develop. That means we are in the folder which we've named develop. And mind you, we talk of branches as folders. So on this repository, I have one branch called develop. That is, I have one folder called develop. I have another branch which is also called main. So let's quickly create another branch from so if you want to create a folder, that is, if you want to create a branch, which branch do we want to create? And now we have 2 folders here. We have one called develop, we have one called main. And the data that is in main is different from the data that is in develop. There's some slight difference. So I think when you go here, there's a command which we use, which is called git diff. But we will look at that later. So we will create a branch. And what is the command for creating a new branch? Last Monday, we learned what's the command for creating a new branch. Anybody to help? What's the command for creating a new branch? So I'll send you this link and you guys can start using that to learn something. Anyone to help me? I git command to create a new branch. Anyone? So it means we didn't go over the video. Hello? Okay, fine. So it means we don't even remember anything. So we learned that, yeah.
Talking about the video, it's not, I don't know whether you pushed it to YouTube, but I couldn't find it here on Skype. I don't know if I have problem with my Skype, but I didn't find it.
Okay, I actually pasted it on YouTube and even pasted it in the various WhatsApp pages. So after this, I will still paste it. Let me check if I can.
Sure, thank you.
Let me see if I can paste it here. See if Apple can paste it. Okay, cool. So okay, so I think that is the link. I've sent it here, so you can check on that. But these are the basics in Git. So let's quickly dive into it. If you want to create a new branch, last Monday we learned that there are various ways to create branches. You can even go to your repository. We have a lot of Git repository, so you can use the GitLab, you can use the Bitbucket, you can use not a bag, like different ones. So over here, I can just come to my repository, that's tutorials repository, and I can click on this plus button, and I'll say create a new branch. So this is the UI for creating a new branch, but I can as well also use the command prompt to create a new branch. So when you come here, it will ask you, do you want to create a branch? So we already have these branches. We have develop, we have main, and you are going to create another branch or another folder. And mind you, the develop is a new folder, the main is also another folder. So if you want to create a new branch, it will ask you which of the branches that you have already that you want to create the new branch also from. So it means you are going to copy. So last week I demonstrated that I can have, let's say this is the tutorial folder. I can have a copy of it here and name it the tutorial develop. So it means I've created a folder from tutorials. I can also create another folder and call it tutorials, let's say production. I can create the folder from tutorials develop instead of tutorials. So if you are creating a new folder, automatically there should be a source folder where you are creating a folder from, or the repo or the branch from. So over here, I will select, let's say I want to create a new branch from develop instead of main, and I'll name it, let's say production. And I'll click on create branch. Automatically, it will create a new branch, and it will tell us that we've created a new branch. So when you click on this one, you see that we have the develop, we have the production, we have the main. So we've created production from develop. So currently, when we try to compare the repository, the two folders, both develop and production are the same, but production and main will not be the same. So we can go to compare from here. And we try to compare production and develop. And we click on compare to tell us there isn't anything to compare because the folder is the same thing, and we just created production from develop. We've not yet pushed anything to production, so there's nothing different because they are the same thing. It's just a copy of the production is just a copy of develop. But if I compare production to, let's say, main, let's see if there's a difference. Yes, so when you look at it, there's this file which is in production that is not in the main. So normally whatever is on your left side will actually take precedence over the one on your right side. So to show you whatever is in the left side, that is not in the left side. So let's swap them. So let's swap the versions and compare. Yeah, yes, that's what I'm supposed to. So there shouldn't be any difference between the main and production. So this is the trick. You know, the main was the one that we started with, and we created the develop from main. So it means whatever is main is in develop. And then we modified develop and we added some files to the develop. So it means develop will rather have a lot of files than main. And now when we are trying to create a new branch from develop, which is the same as the develop folder, and we are trying to compare the main to the production folder. Since production is the one that we started with, and whatever files that we have here is still in production, there shouldn't be any difference between the main and production. But then when we switch it back, you see that there's a difference between the production and main, because production is ahead of main. And then whatever is in production that is not in main will show. But since whatever is in main is already in production, when we swap them, there will not be any difference. So that's the whole thing. And we can also do the get diff. Okay, so first of all, the new branch that we created, which is production, we've not yet had it on our local machine. So when you go to this and you say get branch, it will tell you we have developer main. So this is on my local PC. But how do we get the one that we just created in the cloud, which is called the production? How do we get it? Anyone can help. How do we get the new branch that we created on production to our local machine? Can anyone help? So we can also do get fetch. When you do get fetch, what it's going to do is it's going to fetch us all the branches that we have that we don't have on our local machine. It's going to fetch, and currently the new branch that we don't have that is going to fetch for us is this new branch, which is called production. So now let's do the get branch. So we can actually check out to the new production branch, and then we can now say get checkouts to production. And now to tell us now we've now switched our folder or our repository from initially we were on develop folder, and now we've now switched to the production. So production is now set to track whatever changes we are going to do also on the remote branch as well. So now when we do a get branch, to tell us that we are now on production. Okay, someone has raised their hand. Okay, you can ask.
You made mention that production, I want you to clarify. You said production is ahead of main.
Yes.
So I didn't understand that. Please, can you clarify that? What does it mean?
Okay, cool. So let me go here. So look at this. So currently, you know the branch we are on, right? We are on production, right?
Yes.
So currently, look at production. We have blank, we have check. So these are the files that we have in production on the folder. On this folder, these are the files that we currently have. But when we switch to main, you will see that. So let's switch to main. Get checkouts. Now, I hope by now you know the commands to moving from one folder to another folder.
Yes.
From one branch to another branch. Last time I explained in the video that we have the checkouts. You know, when you go to a hotel and you're moving, like you need to check out from the room to another room. That's the same thing. You do get checkout. So we are moving from one folder to another folder. So it means we are checking out. So get checkouts from the production to develop. So no, to main. So we are going to the main folder. So when we go to main, when we go to main, I should have probably showed this. Let me do this. Just observe this. You see that there was an icon here which was black, an eye icon. It's no more here. Do you remember that icon?
I didn't observe that.
So look at this on main, and look at the production. you see there's a particular icon. I think this icon, the hidden icon.
Okay.
Yes. You see there's this hidden icon
Okay.
inside the production folder, but then we don't have it on main. But then everything that is here is on production.
Okay.
So let me do this. So when we talk of something ahead of something, it means so this is currently on my local PC. These are the files I have in main folder. We have the blank, check, code, door, readme, test prime. But when we come to the production folder, we have readme, test prime, blank, check, code, door. We have hidden. So the difference between the production and the main right now is just only this file, the hidden file.
Okay.
Can you see the difference?
Yeah,
Because
I can see it.
all apps that we have in main, they are the same thing that we have on production. Just that production has one file ahead of main. So that's why we say the production is ahead of main, because it has a lot of files than main.
Okay.
You now understand the difference.
I understand.
So the moment
one thing, using the how do I call it? Is it the terminal? Yeah, the terminal. We branch from production to main, and we check out probably from production to somewhere else. But how will you know? Because if we did from your line gate branch, if we branch, I don't know how to put the question, but how will you know what will be your home? How will you know that I am in this home and I'm moving from this home to that home?
Okay, I get your question. So that's why when you do let me do this. Let me clear my screen. Sorry. So when you do git status, this is just giving you the overview of whatever you are doing. So when you click enter to tell you that you're on the branch main, so this should tell you that currently I'm on branch main.
Okay.
The moment you type git status, it will tell that you're on branch main.
Okay.
So that command will tell you which folder you are in right now. So assuming you are working remotely with someone, and
Amagus, someone has his hands up.
Okay.
I'm the same person. Let me lower my hands now. So I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So when we talk of you moving or you knowing which branch you are working on, you can use the git status, and you can also use the git branch command, and that one will also let you know. So normally the git branch will tell you the branch currently you are on. Are you okay with that?
Okay. So it's not like the production is a folder in a main branch, but they exist differently.
Yes, exactly. So in code they exist differently. So it's like you having one folder called main. That's the first one that we initially, when you create the git repo, that's what it's going to have. You are going to have. And later we wanted to create another folder, but that folder, you can't create an empty folder on its own. Automatically, you have to create it from another folder. So we created develop from main. So when we created develop from main, the develop was having the same files as main. And then we just added another file to the develop, which was the hidden icon. So that's when develop came ahead of main, because now develop was having a lot of files than main. Initially, when we created for main, it was having the same files from main, and we added just an icon to the develop. So okay, fine. Right now, we created production from develop. So develop and production, they are on the same level. Okay. So what we can do is we can go here, let's do git checkouts to production and make sure that production is also ahead of develop. So right now, we are on production right now. So when we go here, you see the hidden icon here. Okay, fine. Let's go and add a new file. Let's go and add this file, status icon. Let's go and add it to our folder right now. And now, if you want to, now we have, let's do the get status since we've added a new file. Sorry. You see, we've added a new file. So when we do get status, it will give us that there's a new file that we've added in our production folder or repo. So how do we add this file to the repository? How do we do this? Anyone to help? We have like a new file that has been added to our production branch. How do we push it? How do we add it and push it to our cloud, our production branch on cloud? Should I mention names?
Okay, so hello, good evening.
Yeah, okay. Good evening.
Yes, yeah. So you use the git add.
Yes, so we use the add. You can use the git add with the dots, or since it's just one, you can just select it. And so you can use the get the name of the file and hit enter. That is, so you can do the get status again and see the color. So last Monday we learned that if it's a new file, we need to add it to a basket where we can conclude on that basket and push that whole basket to the online folder, or let's say the repository. So now that we've added it to the buckets, we need to add a message. We need to commit a message to the bucket and tell the basket that at least we added something. So we will do the get commits and write a message. So -m means you are going to write a message. And let's say added new icon. So that's a message you are going to add. So in this case, anytime I'll go back to my repository, let's say in 2 years' time, when I look at that commit message, I know I will remember that, okay, fine, this is what I did that day. So the message is just for you to know whatever you did when you were pushing your code to the repository. So after adding a commit, I can now do the git push. Since the branch is already on the remote server, we just use git push. If it was a new branch that we've created locally and we are trying to push the items and also the branch together to the repository, what command do you think we will use? Last Monday we learned that if we had created a branch on our local PC and not from the cloud, what do you think what would be the command that we would have used to push both our branch as well as the files? Someone raise their hand, can talk.
No, I wanted to ask a question, but it's not the solution to the question please you are asking, because I have not. My question is, okay, how if you are in a particular home like the production, and you probably want to be sure of the files that you have under that folder production, how do you list them out so that you know that, okay, this file I want to work with, it is here? Like, I don't know if you get.
So you want to view all the files under that?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
That branch.
Yes, please.
Oh, I see. Can anyone help here? I don't know whether we have. Can anyone help? I know that when you are in a repository, we have some commands that you can use. I don't know whether in is it I've forgotten, but that one is not a git command. But I think on Windows you use the CLS or LS. But I've forgotten of that. Yeah, Marvin.
Hello.
Yeah, George, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
What
can
was
hear.
his
You can
question?
talk.
What was his question?
So his question is, assuming you are in this, we are in the production folder. You want to list all the files that are in the production folder for you to see that, okay, these are the files that I have in production folder. Is there a command for you to do that?
With Git.
Yes. And you just have to do
And I'm thinking,
or dir.
yeah, I think
So
there's
just
a
do
command on Windows that you can do directory, I think -ls or something.
Yeah.
But then I'm not
so
on Windows. I don't.
I think on Windows is dir.
it's
Then
just
you list
dir.
your file.
Yeah.
And then if you're on Linux, I think you can use ls or something.
Okay. LS is on. Okay. On Mac. Okay. Cool. So LS gave me the file. So I have the README here. I have the blank.
Yeah.
Okay. This, the heading, this. So these are the files I have. So okay, fine. So this is the CMD commands. These are some of the CMD commands, but these are not Git commands. You can't use Git command to do that.
Okay. I get it. Thank you very much.
So now that we have a new file, we've committed our message. We just need to push. So we use the git push command, and we just push our icon, the status icon, to the cloud. So when you hit enter, it will upload. When it's done, it will let you know. So it has now pushed to our production. So let's verify this icon here. So let's reload this page. And now it's here. If we're able to push it to the repository, so we have it here. So automatically now production, which we created from develop branch, is going to be ahead of develop branch because now production is having a new file in here, which develop doesn't have. So we try to do compare. It will tell us from here, develop, compare develop to production. Automatically production is going to be ahead of develop with one file. That's the status icon that we just pushed, and we have it here. So there's one file which is in production, which is not found in develop, and that's the difference right now. I don't know this git command, which is I don't know if you understand up to this point.
Boss, the status PNG that we pushed, I saw you write the command git push, but we didn't state that maybe we are pushing this. It's making it a little because
so
there are a lot of files under. So what?
Okay. So let me go here. Remember, these files are already on the remotes folder. So the blank check, everything, already we have it here. So if you saw from here, we already have it on the cloud when you go to production. So we initially had this up to this point. We didn't have the status here.
Yes.
And that file that we have it, those files that we have it here, they are the same file that we had in this folder on our local machine. So the only file that we added was this status icon. And this status icon, so if you are trying to do any git push, since we already have these ones here, and they are the same thing on the cloud, it will not push them. Automatically, it's just going to strike out the difference. And the difference is we have this new status icon. So now let's do another one. Let me show you this so that you clear. So if you do the git status right now with this command, you see that we don't have any file right now because all these files that you see here, they are the same files that you can find them also online. So since the Git is intelligent that it will just look at whatever is online and come and compare to your local PC. If there's any difference in your files, that's where to tell that okay that you have this file is different, so you need to push it to your cloud. So assuming I come here, I'll not add a new file. I'll just go to this code.txt and I'll go edit it. Let me go and clear this, and I'll save it. Since I've modified this file, the moment I go here and I'll do git status again, it will tell me that I modified this file. You understand?
Okay.
Tell me that I've modified this file. And for our cloud to be able to get the updates of this file, now this file doesn't have some data. I've deleted some of them, but when you go to the cloud, it's still there. When you go to code.txt, it still has this one in there. So what do? We need to push whatever change that we've done so that it will come and change whatever is here and also delete whatever is on the cloud for us. So since we have it, when we did a git status and it told us that we've modified our file, we need to make sure that whatever we have on our local PC is the same as what we have on cloud. So we need to add only this file because this is the file that has been changed. All the rest are intact. They are the same thing. They are the same thing compared to what we have on our cloud. So we just do git add. We can use the dots to add everything. If assuming we have a lot of files, so let's modify a lot of files here. Let's see. Let me add more files here. Let me go and copy. So this. Let me copy what again? So let me copy these files. Assuming I'm going to add these files to the production. So when I come here, do the git status again, you see that there are new files that have come in. You see that this one file was modified. Let me clear the console so you see everything. Let me do the git status again. So we have these changes. One file was modified, and these are two new files that I just added. You understand?
Okay.
It will not whatever I have on your already have in the online repository, because though you have all these files in there, but then they're already on online, so it will not push them. Git is intelligent to know the difference. So it will look through all these files and also compare whatever is online, and it will tell you that, okay, fine, you've modified this on your local machine and you've added these two new files.
Okay.
So we are now going to try and push these three files, that is two new files and one modified file, to our repository. So what should we do? In order not to do git add one by one, assuming we have thousands of files, we can't be copying this and pasting them here. So what we do? When you just do git add plus a dot, it means you want to add all of them to the baskets, whatever file, whether the modified ones, the new files, everything. You're going to add everything to the basket. So I'll hit enter and I'll do git. And mind you, last Monday we learned that when new files come in or modified files come, they have the color red. The moment you add them to the basket, they become green. And the moment you add a commit message to it, it becomes white. And then it means you're ready to go. A white smoke means you are done, so you need to push it to the repository. So when I do git status again, you see that the files have been changed to green. So the modified is here, and we have these new files. So we need to add this. We need to push this. So green means it's now added to the basket. We need to commit finally on the basket with a message, and then push the whole basket to our online repository. So I will say git commit, and we can write a message. Let's say deleted the start engine method. So I deleted there was a method in that file. There was a code with a method, and I deleted that particular method. So I want to write this message so that I will know whatever I did on that. And after writing my message, I can hit enter now. So now when you do git status, again, now the files have now been changed to white. And now you can now do git push. So it's going to push only these three modified ones, one modified and two new files. So it's not going to push whatever we have here. because they're already on the repository, so it will not push them again. Otherwise, they will duplicate. And you hit git push, you hit enter, it will push everything here. So now it has pushed. So let's go to repository to confirm. Just look at this critical. We have this here. The moment we reload the page, it will be no more there because what was on our local, we deleted it and we've put the new one here. So let's reload our page and let's check out to the production branch. Great. So in the production branch, we have these new files added here, and this code.txt was modified. You now see that we don't have it here, so it has not changed. So we now have the current one that we have on our local machine online.
Yeah, I understand, sir. Thank you very much.
So now, what about if you have this code here and you want the same thing also on develop? What do we do? There are two ways. We have something called cherry pick and also have something called merge request. These are the two things that we wanted to learn today. All that we did were just a recap of everything. So right now, let's clear our console. We are on production, so we can do git log. When you do git log will give you all the logs that you've done on that particular branch. So when I do git log, it will walk us through the whole thing. So initially, so currently we are on this. Last Monday, we learned about you checking out to a special commit. We learned about that one. So assuming I've added all these commits and look at them. The current one, the last one that we did was deleted the start engine method. We added a new icon. Last Monday, we added hidden icon. Last Monday, we also added new code to start engine, added new files logs. And it's not done. You can continue with the rest, and now that's it. Initial commit. So we've actually gotten to the end. So it starts from where the main branch was created and all the commits that you've inherited. It will show you all the logs. Assuming you want to, currently we are on this particular commit because this was our last commit, deleted the start engine method. Assuming you want to move backwards to this particular commit and make sure that your code or what that you added should be deleted from it and go back to when you had this commit. How do we do that? Do you remember that we learned that one also? Anyone to help? Do you remember that we can even go as low as even make sure our folder comes back to when we created our repository? That was the initial commit, which is this one. We can even roll back whatever changes that we've done. So when you look at our repository right now, we've done a lot of commits on it. There are a lot of commits in here. But we can roll back to even to the initial one and make sure our code go and start from where we created everything. We can also roll back to the middle of the code and make sure that whatever changes that we've done here, we discard them. And we can even roll back to when we added the new icon. How is that possible? How do we do that? What's the git command for that? We learned all these are just recaps. I just want to make sure I move on to the next one that gets merge and cherry pick. No one to help? So we have our tutors over here who can also help, Andy and Marvin as well here. Emmanuel, Andrew, Kofi. Do you remember that? Okay, fine. So we can just, anyone? So if you want to roll back your distance to an initial commit or middle of your commits, you can just say, I want to make sure my code goes back or roll back to where I added new files and logs, which is this commit. I can just copy the hash, the commit hash over here, and just go down. And just go down here and say git checkout to this commit. And it will go back, it will roll back to here. So let's look at the folder. You see, now the folder, everything has been deleted and that it has been rolled back to when we added that particular, to tell that now you are in a detached head. You can look around, make experimental changes and commit them, and you can discard any commits you make in this state without impacting any branches by performing another checkout. So we can still come back to our previous commits, which is the latest commit. We can still check out again back to that and have our files. So let me do this so that you watch carefully on the folder. You see that the files will come back. So since we wrote back to the initial one, look at this code file. What we initially had was just only this add code. Nothing was there. But now let's roll back to our latest commit, which is this one, where we deleted the start engine method. So let's do git checkout again to that particular commit. And you see it brought in the files here. And we have this code also here. So you can just be experimenting. You can roll back to even the 30th commit. There are some folders, there are some repos that have like thousands of commits. You can roll back and roll back and roll back to even to the 100th commit, and it will still work for you to go back to the working tree. So that at times where you push a code and the code will be just misbehaving, and you would like to undo everything that you've done. You don't have to go back to the code and be deleting stuff. No, you can just go back to a working commit and check out to that particular commit and now use that one as in how you want it. And when you're okay, you can probably check out to a new branch and create a new branch from it. So there's no harm in doing anything. You can roll back always to any commits that you think that was working for you. So let's quickly dive into the two things that we want to do. So let me clear my screen. So today we want to learn something new. So that today is the last on our Git. Let's learn about Git merge and also Git cherry pick. So we talk of Git merge. Git merge means you have two folders and you just want to merge them together. That is Git merge. So now that I have developed and I have production, so let's first of all compare these folders. When you look at, let's say, when you look at production and develop, you can see the difference between them. The difference between production and develop is that we have this icon here, and also in our code or text, we deleted this one from it, and also we added another file over here. So these are the three files that we have on production that are not on develop. So we want to make sure that everything that we have on production is being merged into develop, so that develop and production can be on the same level. Assuming we have a lot of commits, let's say production has thousands of commits and thousands of files, and develop is way behind production. What you can do, you can just create a merge request, make sure you merge whatever is in production to develop, so that develop can also come on the same level as production. There are two ways of doing this. You can use this one. I'm not saying two ways, there are many ways. So you can use this command to create a merge request. You can as well also come here. Since you want to merge into develop, you need to make sure that you check out into develop and now go and pull some the production rather into develop. So that's a trick. So you want to merge production into develop. So automatically you need to make sure that your hands and your legs are standing on the develop first, because you want to go and bring someone to yourself. So it's like the develop is, let's say, is a woman. You need to bring the man to your home to marry you. You want to come and merge. So automatically the man has to come from somewhere to your house and come and marry you from your house. So we need to check out first. So we do get checkout to develop first. And now we are going to make sure that, so you do get branch and we make sure that we're on develop right now. So now that we're on develop, we need to go and bring whatever changes that production has to the develop. So we just do get merge production. So you type the name as it is. So we type this one exactly as it is here. Sorry. So when you type get merge, then the name of the branch that you want to merge into the current branch, you hit enter. And automatically it will tell you that it's going to merge all these files. So when it's merging, these are the files that is going to merge. We added this new file to the production, it has merged it. And this code, we modified it, so it has made that modification to our develop branch. And we also added this file from on production, it has also copied that one. We also added the status PNG as well to production, that also copied that same thing to production, to the develop. Now that we've merged, it is on our local PC, it has not yet been pushed to this repository, to the cloud. So what we need to do, that we need to make sure that whatever that is on our local PC, we push it also to the cloud. So we just do get push, and then it will now push the changes, that is the merge that we've done, to the repository. So now that it has pushed, let's go back to our tutorial to the folder or the repo to confirm. So let's go to develop. When we go to develop, you will see that there will be, look at the deleted start engine method. You know that we had this one rather on our production branch. Now it has been copied, and we added this new icon. That one has also been copied into the develop branch. So we have it here. So whatever that we have it on production now has been now copied into develop. So you can now do the comparison and see whether you can have any difference between production and develop. So now when you try to compare, it will tell you there's nothing to compare, because now we've successfully copied whatever was on production to develop. So now they are on the same level. At this point, any question?
Yes, please. Please go back to the terminal.
Okay.
Where you use the get checkout develop. Yeah. So I realized that when you do get checkout develop, you are checking out from maybe the home that you are into develop, right?
Initially we were on production branch, and since we want to copy whatever is in production branch to develop, we need to go to where the source, we need to go to the destination first. So we check out from the production to the develop branch.
Yes. Then why then do we do get branch again, like to develop?
Oh, when I do get branch means I'm just checking which branch I am on right now. Get branch doesn't do anything. It just checks to see which branch we are on.
Okay.
It's the same as using get status. Get status will give you 1, the branch, 2, if there have been any modification on your files and other things. So status will give you like everything, but branch will just give you only the branch that you are on right now.
Okay. I get it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So let's quickly work on, okay, so Andy is telling me time up. Okay, great. So let's quickly add the cherry pick, and I think we can close for this one. So cherry pick means, let's go back to this tutorial again. Cherry pick means, assuming you have this main branch, you know, right now the develop and the production are way ahead of the main. And when you do git merge means you are merging all the, let's say all the commits that you've done. It doesn't leave any of them. It merges everything. So assuming when you look at main, let's go to production first. When we go to production and we go to history, you will see that there are a lot of commits over here. And if we say we are going to merge, it's going to merge all these, assuming these commits are not on the main, it will merge all of them. If these commits are on main, it will leave them. Those that are not on main, it will merge them to the main. And assuming you've done a code here, or you've done a code here, just added a hidden icon, of which on this one, you just added just an icon. And you just need only that particular commit, not all of these commits. That's where cherry pick comes in. Cherry pick will allow you to be able to copy only these changes, and it will leave whatever changes that are there. It will just copy the changes that you did on this particular commit alone. So in this case, I will just come here. You can either come here to copy this hash, or I can go to my console back. Let me do that, get clear. First of all, I want to copy something from the production. So I'll go to the production branch. So now I'm on production branch. So let me do get log to get all the logs on production. Yes. So now I have all these logs on production. And assuming I don't want to merge all these commits to my main branch, and I just want, let's say I just want this, where is it? Added a hidden icon, yes. Added this hidden, so this commit. I just want only this particular change, where I added only an icon, which was this icon. So when you go to when you go to your main, you see that you don't have this hidden icon here. You don't have any hidden icon here. But when you come to the production, we have this hidden icon here. So that particular commit, I added only this file, this hidden icon, which we want to copy only that particular commit where we added this particular icon to our main, so that our main can also have that particular hidden icon also. Since currently we don't have this hidden icon over here, we need to make sure we go and cherry pick only that particular commit. So we come here. What we are interested in is that this commit hash again. Since I've copied, let me come here. And let's go to our main branch. So I'll do get checkout to our main branch. So I'm now my main. So let me confirm. Let me do get branch confirm. So this is just to confirm that we are on the main branch. Fine. Now that I'm on the main branch, I want to just go and copy that particular commit alone and come and add it to my main branch. So I'll just do get cherry pick and now paste the hash here. So it's going to copy only this particular commit instead of get merge rather merges all the commits you have on that particular production, on that particular repo. But cherry pick will allow you to just pick only one at a time. So I can now cherry pick this particular hash and just do hit enter. So when I hit enter, what it's going to do is that on that particular commit, what we did was we just added only one icon, which was the hidden icon. So it's going to add this icon to us. So first of all, let's go here. You see that on the main, it has not given us this icon. It has copied that icon from that production branch here for us. So now that we have it here, we can now do get push. So mind you, before I push, let's go here. When you go to your git main, the current one is, added new code to start engine. But the moment you push that particular commit, let's go to our main. We only have these 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So the last commit we have here is added new code to start engine. But now that we are going to push the commit that we copied from production, it is going to add his commit also on main for us. So git push, I'll hit enter. And it also copy that file and push it to our main branch. So it is done. Let's go to confirm. So let me reload this commits. Yes, so we have it here, added a hidden icon. And now when I go and check, that icon should be part of my main folder. And here's the hidden icon is here. At this point, any question?
So say the cherry pick is in a layman's language is to copy a particular what you want, right?
Then use a particular commits.
Okay, so it's not like when it copies it will paste it to the directory that you want it to be, but unless you use the git push again after that.
Yeah, so check, in everything, whatever I'm doing was on my local machine. But if you want everything that you've done on your local machine to go to the cloud,
yeah.
Use the push. Okay. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Yes. So today we've learned about the git merge request and also the cherry pick. So these are the two things that we wanted to add on top of whatever that we've learned. So you can go back to the previous video on YouTube, watch it, go through and understand it before you come to this one, because that one is like, it gives you the basics before you come to the merge request and also the cherry pick. So that's, and there are a lot of other videos on YouTube that can also help you a lot. So I think our time is fast spent. So I will end here. If there's any question, contribution, we can bring it up before we close.
Yeah, Amankus.
Yes.
So with the issue with the cherry picks here, because we are merging specific changes with our previous commit to our current branch, it's always advisable that whenever you work, right, you push only one, like you work on only one subject topic per time, right?
Exactly.
So you don't mix different aspects of your code into one commit. So let's say with this commit, you worked on the header section of your website or your app, then you commit it. The next your next work, you work on the side menu, then you commit it, so that in case in future if you want to do your cherry pick, you only merge that specific change into your current work. Because with cherry pick, there's usually a lot of merge conflicts.
Yes,
and
exactly.
You have to fix merge conflict. So if you are somebody who doesn't like separating, if you don't do that separation and you always push a whole lot of different changes into one commit, you always have merge conflicts. Yeah. So when you're working, you make sure that your commits are always to one specific subject matter. Yeah. Sure. I think that'll be it.
Yeah, it's very, very true. Thanks for the contribution. With cherry pick, when you're doing, as you said, you need to be very careful when you're doing cherry pick. Because, and when you're doing also cherry pick, you saw that, assuming I'm on production here, and you want to do cherry pick of, let's say, 3 commits. What you can, first of all, do cherry pick of this one. Assume you want to do cherry pick of 1, 2, 3. You can't do this before you come and do this, you come and do this. You need to start from, let's say, is it in ascending order? You need to start from this one first. As we want to copy 1, 2, 3. You need to start from the lower one first before you come back to this one second and you come back to the third one. The moment you start with this one and you go to here, there's a likelihood that you can get merge conflicts. Because automatically this code, assuming this change did a change in one file A, and this change also did a change in file B, and this is having the current one, and you copy this one first, and this one also is doing the same change, the same file, and this is going to also send you back to a previous change, which is not in line with this one. Automatically, you're going to get a lot of merge conflicts. So when you're doing cherry pick, you need to be very careful with how you do your cherry picks. That is when you have, let's say, files here. Assuming I'm going to copy, let's say, push first icon, add hidden icon, and deleted the engine method, you need to start from this one first, the lower one first, before you come to the top. You come to the top. That's how we do cherry picks. And as he said also, it's advisable when you are coding, you do specifics, so that let's say it's your status bar icon, you just do that alone and you push. It's your button, you just do that alone and you push. But assuming you've done like 20 files changes and like different stuff, different things, and you want to now go and do cherry pick, you will now do cherry pick, which will copy things that you don't need. So it's also advisable you do when you're coding, you push per specific stuff, and your commit, now your commit message will be meaningful to the things that you did, and that's it.
Yeah. I also want to add something. Thank you very much. This was very insightful. My contribution is with the commit messages. I don't know if that has been tackled already. Always your commit messages has to align with the fix that you are doing. It's very important for tracking purposes. You just don't name it and write ABCD or something gibberish. It has to have something related to the sentence, or the caption has to be related to whatever fix that you did. Know that the purpose of this is also to help other engineers you are working with to understand exactly what you did on that commit. And it's very important because you might be working with a larger group, not specifically yourself and maybe a friend, but with a larger group, and you're expected to comply with, standards. And one of the standards that we look for is commit messages. So as you can see, my boss did. He said added new code to the start engine. So that means that there's a start engine, that there's a new code that has been added. So when you go there, you see something there. There's another one says added file and logs. At least that makes gives a meaning. And then here too, it says push first icon. At least it's giving a meaning. But you just don't write anything and then expect someone to understand. So in some organizations, they have standards of doing your commit. If you don't commit it that way, their CI/CD system or platform will reject it. However, if that is not in place with whichever team you are working with, at least build that culture with yourself, because you'll be working not only for yourself, and have that also in mind. My final words is, if you don't practice this, you forget it. It will evaporate as soon as possible. So as you taught, quickly go and watch the videos and practice, else you forget. We said that we are still working and using it. We still go and Google and search for some comments, and you, the person now learning. So don't assume that right after watching this tutorial, you are
I mean, I do that Googling every day, almost every day. So yeah.
I do a lot of Google on Git almost once in a while every week. So I recently even got to familiarize myself well with cherry pick. I won't lie to you. So if you are going to sit on your bottom and say, "Oh, I've understood it, so I won't practice it," it's up to you. Secondly, my backend team, that's my final words. My backend team, there were some projects that we did that I told you to keep. Very soon after this Git tutorial, you'll be pushing to Git, and I'll be observing how you push and all. So this is the time to practice and quickly share the links with me to check how you did it and how it's going. So I'll be expecting your feedbacks on that. On that note, I'm done with my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Boss Andy.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So as Andy said, when I get commits, these are normal Git commit, but then I know it's when they are working with like larger organizations, they have syntax or ways of writing their commit messages. Some will do like it. Let's say get commits, and they will, instead of they will just do, they have, if there's a fix that you did, they will just do get fix. And if, let's say it was in the let's say it was a module or something that you did, or let's say it was, let's say, core module that you just did a fix there, you just write the fix, the module there, and then you just write whatever fix you did. So probably you added, let's say you changed button color. So, and then if there's, let's say there's an issue, there's a code, there's a Jira code, or there's a code that you use to track your issues that you fixed. Let's say the code is, let's say, P001. You add that one also to it. So there are a lot of ways you can also do this. Every organization has got this. If it's not a fix that you did, and it's a new CR or it's a feature, you can just write fix, and you actually explain whatever you did. Or you did a feature on the core module, and you also write what you did. And based on the CR, the number of the code that they gave you, you also append it to it and just push. So anytime you can keep track of everything like this. So these are also like things that I know that with time you will learn them. And I think we when you practice it a lot, I think you get it. Time is fast spent, so I think we should close now. Without any question or anything again, I think, is there any question again from any of the students? All right, thanks for joining today, and I think we will make good use of this Git tutorial. From next week, we will start with our real class and also our project as well.
All right, thank you, Boss Amangwa.
All right, welcome. Have a nice weekend. Okay, bye.